Hello, this is a video for artificial lash application. And we're actually going to start the video at the beginning when we arrive at work. So the first thing we do when we arrive at work is we wash our hands. We are going to wet our hands under the sink, and we are going to find that liquid hand soap, and we're going to get a coin size and rub our palms together down to the wrists. We're going to wash the back of our hands down to our wrists. We are going to wash our fingers, and then we're going to wash the back of our fingers. We're going to wash our nails and fingertips, of course, between the fingers. We're going to wash between the fingers and the thumbs. We're going to wash the thumbs. We're going to wash our wrists, and we are going to wash all of that interlocking for 20 to 30 seconds minimum. Once we have washed, we will find either a clean towel or disposable paper towels, and you're going to turn the water off with that hand. You are going to toss those paper towels once you have completely dried, or clean towel to be laundered. And then once you're thoroughly dried, paper towels are in the trash, you're going to find your hand sanitizer, that's 70% ethyl alcohol, and you are going to rub and wash your hands together. And then we're going to prepare our workstation before our client even arrives for this false lash application. We're going to get her ready and good to go. I mean, the area ready and good to go, so we can take care of our client. So to prepare our station, what we want to do is we're going to disinfect it, the bed and the equipment, using a disinfectant wipe. We're going to follow the manufacturer's instructions. We will dispense the products that we need for the service. We're going to prepare disposable portion cups for each product with a portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup or tray. Or we can remove the product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula. We're going to close the lid to the product and set the portion cup or tray on the tray. We'll place disposable table paper on the disinfected bed, and then we will greet our client. But let's look at our tray that's already been set up and ready to go, so that you know what you have prepared. We've got our makeup remover here. We've got our cotton rounds. Of course, we have our set of false lashes and glue, a disposable mascara wand, single use, tweezers, and small scissors, your implements, a pair of gloves, disposable gloves, and then we've got some applicators to put the glue on with that are also single use that will be tossed into the trash. So once we use them. So our tray's ready, and now our client has arrived, so we're going to go greet our client. And we always remember that we go greet our client for her consultation or his consultation with clean hands. You will wash them again before you start the service, but just a good thing to note that you have clean hands. So our client arrives, we're going to greet them and escort them to the work area, and we're going to assess the client's current style. We're going to determine the client's preferences and assess the client's needs. We will assess the client's skin by performing a visual skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, an infection or infestation to prevent from safely performing the service. We're going to assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products used within the last 72 hours, and we're going to consult on any known allergies. We're going to consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months, and if the client is under a physician's care. We'll assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. We're going to assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, hydroquinone, etc. We'll assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. If the client is free from all of the above, we can move forward with the procedure. And guess what? They are, so we can move forward. So we're going to take our client to the bed, and then we're going to get them set up, and then we're going to start our hand wash. So our client needs a headband or a hairnet. We've got to keep her hair out of her eye area so that we can put our lashes on. We're going to lay her down on the table with a drape that's been draped with the paper, and then we're going to put a drape on her so that she's nice and comfy and cozy, which you can see she is here. Before you start the service, the first thing that you want to do is wash your hands. So we're going to wet our hands, and we're going to get that liquid hand soap out We're gonna rub our palms together down to the wrist. We're gonna rub the back and wash the back of our hands down to the wrists. We are gonna wash our fingers. We are gonna wash the backs of our fingers. We are gonna wash those fingertips and nails. We're gonna wash between our fingers, and we're gonna wash between our fingers and our thumbs. We're gonna wash our thumbs, and we're gonna wash our wrists. When we feel like we've gotten really good and clean, 20 to 30 second minimum of that, we're gonna rinse thoroughly under the water, and then we'll either identify a clean towel or get some disposable paper towels to turn the water off with. Dry everything off thoroughly, find your hand sanitizer, and it's time to sanitize. And make sure that this sanitizer you get is really, work it in until it's dry, because you've got to put disposable gloves on for the service, and so that's hard to do sometimes when your hands still have wet hand sanitizer on them. So take a minute there to do that. And then we're going to apply our gloves. And now we're ready to start the service. So the first thing that we want to do is remove any eye makeup that she might have on. So let's go ahead and get that going. And really, this client is wanting this drip lash so that her eyes look really nice, and she doesn't feel like she needs a lot of makeup today. She's got a lot going on. She wants to look good, but she doesn't want to have to put on a lot of makeup. She's like, the false lashes do it for me. I'm like, okay. So we're going to clean this eye area. And if you need to do this more than once, feel free. Just get her nice and clean, or him. And one thing I'm going to do is make sure that she is really dry before we try to put the lashes on as well, because there's obviously lash adhesive, so you don't want anything wet. So I'm just going to get some dry cotton rounds and just dry that up a little bit. Might not have to do that on your client, but just in case I have extra. Good, she's nice and dry. And before we can put them on, we need to measure your artificial lash with your client's eye size. And believe it or not, there are a right and a left in your set. There's always a shorter side on each lash and then a longer side. So where the lashes are shorter, they would go to the inside of the nose, like inside of the eye, closest to the nose. The longest lashes go to the outside of the eye. So short to long from nose and out. So I'm just going to measure this lash, and because the short side is on this side, that would be your right eye that I'm measuring. And all I'm doing, there's no glue or anything, I'm just holding it up to the lash line. And believe it or not, lucky ducky, this eye is gorgeous. It's like perfect length. But I'm going to show you what I would do if it wasn't. So I would take it off, and my fingers would hold on the long side the extra. And then what I'm going to do is trim the top off above my fingers. And now that it's measured, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to apply the lash glue. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the glue on my cotton applicator, and I am going to take a little bit, and I'm going to take it along that lash line, corner to corner. Try to even it out there as I apply it. Not too much, not too little. Turn it over, grab my tweezers, because my tweezers are going to be how I lay it on the client's lash line. Around the middle or so with my lashes, and then I'm going to just simply lay it on that lash line, pressing the inside down first, and then I'll work my way out with the press, getting as close as I can. And it looks awesome. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it that good, 4 to 5 seconds at least time for it to dry before I move on to eye number 2. Perfect. And one thing I didn't do for this client, she didn't need it because she doesn't have a lot of lashes. They're a little sparse. After you take off your makeup remover, if you wanted to comb through that lash, just really separate it, her own lash, not your strip lash, you could do that. This particular client didn't need it, but I always have this because I look and see, oh, do I need to do it? But she's got a longer, thinner lash. I didn't have to comb through it. It was already spaced out really well. So just a side note, that's what your mascara wand is for. It's really for once you're cleansed, if you want to comb through the lash, and generally speaking, it's probably a great idea. It's going to look great and just kind of give you a good base. She was already out and flat, so I didn't use that. So let's take our lash number 2. And I'm going to start with my measure. So I'm going to take it into the short side, short to long, closest to the nose, farthest away from the nose, short to long respectively. Once again, like I said, it's a great match. But I'm going to show you what it would look like if she just needed a little trim. I would hold it above my fingers, and then I would take my scissors and cut the excess off of the long side above my fingers. Then I'm going to come over, flip it over so I'm on the back of the lash strip, and I'm going to apply my glue, disposable, with a little bit of glue here with one of these applicators, and single-use applicator, and then I'm going to take it along that lash line, corner to corner, before I grab my tweezers. Flip it over, it's got a little bit of that glue on there, and you're going to hold with your tweezers in the center. You're going to come over to this lash and you're going to lay it down, and what I'm going to do, the first press I'm going to take is that inner corner, and then I'm going to work my way to that outer corner with a press. There. And I'm just trying to get it as close as I can. While the glue is still damp, you can kind of adjust a little bit and move a little bit. And give it that good 4 to 5 second window of drying. And then once you feel like you've got her nice and pretty where you want it to be, you can show your client how amazing she looks, and she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I love them, they're so beautiful. And it's just what she wanted. She didn't want to have to wear a lot of makeup. She really likes the look of them. So she's super happy. So now we're going to take off our disposable gloves. It's time to discard them in the trash. So you can tell her you're getting that done, and then you're going to take care of your client. So what you want to do is obviously remove headband, you're going to get rid of the drape, and then you're going to take her out to where you're going to do your follow-up, or review your follow-up. So basically you're going to discuss maintenance and aftercare, explaining that there's single-use strip lash, that she could take them off and potentially use them again, show her how to apply them herself, I guess, if you'd like to, and how to put the glue on. But really, when she washes her face, she can take them off and she can throw them away. This isn't complicated. You're going to check her out. You're going to send her on her way. And then you are going to go back to your room because you've got to begin to sanitize and disinfect. So all of your single-use items need to go into the trash. Your rounds, your disposable mascara wands, all of that good stuff. Your disposable cups that might have had your makeup remover, all that stuff is gone. You already threw away your gloves. And then any linens that you've used, like your towel, drape, headband, all the washables will go in a closed container to be laundered. And then we've got to identify a proper cleaning agent, read the manufacturer's directions, follow the manufacturer's directions for mixing and usage, and then wipe down our workstation and area with cleaning solution to remove debris. We're going to identify a disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, and fungicidal, EPA approved for use in a salon setting. That's going to require gloves again, so you're going to have to put disposable gloves on. You will follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using the appropriate aerosol disinfectant. You will disinfect electrical equipment, store it in a clean area separate from other implements, and then those gloves that you just had on, you're going to remove and toss into the trash. We are going to finish up strong here with a hand wash. Yay. So we're going to take our hands and we're going to rinse them underneath the water. We are going to identify liquid hand soap. Rub your hands together down to your wrist. You're going to rub the back of your hands down to your wrist. You're going to rub your fingers, the backs of your fingers, washing, of course, between your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to wash your fingertips and your nails. You're going to wash those thumbs. You're going to wash your wrists. And you're going to do all of that for 20 to 30 seconds. Good strong wash. Thoroughly rinsed, and then you're going to grab either a clean towel or disposable paper towels. Turn off the faucet, completely dry your hands. If it's disposable paper towels, in the trash they go. Find your hand sanitizer, and you are going to give it a really proper hand sanitize, and then you're going to be able to set up for your next client or service. So this video concludes what you do at the end of a false lash application.